representing the Double Diamond 4-H Club is Lilly Artemako and Kiara Chamzik, Sign of Mine. Sign of Mine, Lilly Artemako and Kiara Chamzik.
Every day we take for granted the ability to speak. We don't realize how lucky we are until the day we meet that someone who can't.
Madam Chair, President, Honorable Chair, fellow ladies and gentlemen.
This is Kiara. This is her first year in 4-H and is the inspiration to our illustrated talk. At the age of 5, Kiara was diagnosed with apraxia, which is a condition where damage to the cerebrum challenges Kiara movements necessary to speak. So 3 years ago, I started to teach Kiara and her family sign language for when times Kiara could not get the right words out.
And this is the simply for 6 years.
Kiara, why don't you tell us your definition of sign language?
Use my hand to talk.
Aristotle said that the deaf and hard of hearing could not be educated.
We will to you that he will want.
3 million Canadians have hearing issues. Charles Michael Lilly was the founder of the first public school for the deaf. He was a French Catholic priest who was visiting a family in a poverty-stricken area in Paris when he noticed 2 deaf sisters signing to each other with their hands. He vowed it to make it his mission to help the deaf and hard of hearing create a language of their own.
He found the school in Science one in France. Yeah, he found the school. He learned from his students.
Lilly was a very humble priest and worked very hard to find a system that would work for all people. He was very quick to admit one thing. Do you remember what that was, Kiara?
Signing become part in sport, even baseball.
William Hoy not only hit the first Grand Slam in the American League, but because he was deaf, he created hand signals that are still used in baseball today. Have you ever seen on TV and seen a base coach or head coach making hand signals? Kiara and I will show you an example of a bunt. Arm, nose, belt, nose, ear, arm, nose, just to get the hitter to bunt. Canada was very slow in recognizing the deaf.
In the first school opened in 1955.
The first school for the deaf in Canada was established in June of 1831 in Quebec. Canada doesn't have its own sign language like the Americans do. Immigrants brought their sign language from whatever country they came from. Famous people who are deaf were John Chrétien, the 20th Prime Minister of Canada.
Mount Mountain is at red.
There are many famous people in the world today who are either legally deaf or hard of hearing, and you wouldn't even know it, like Rob Lowe, Heather Whitestone, who was Miss America, Bill Clinton, Thomas Edison, and Halle Berry.
Sometimes it's here to talk with babies.
Sign language is the universal language. Kiara, can you show me some signs? Thank you. Eat. Help. Please. Horse. Bed. And thirsty. Me and Kiara will demonstrate the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. We will now demonstrate a conversation. Kiara, what do you like about www.signingsevy.com, and personal experience. Summary. Definition of sign language.
Use the hand to talk.
First Deaf School was founded in 1771 in France.
In a better the first school in 1955.
Sign language is used to communicate with babies.
Sign language is used in many sports. There are many babies who are deaf and had a hard.
Throughout this journey of preparing for this illustrated talk, we realized Kiara still having difficulties with pronunciation and never getting better at it, proving to us how important sign language is to Kiara and her family. So as you can see, Aristotle was wrong, saying that the hard of hearing and deaf could not be educated. Kiara has taught her family, her school, and myself more things than most 9-year-olds can. Many people with limitations have inspired people throughout decades. Right, Kiara, what else did Helen Keller say that we wanted to end with?
The best and most beautiful thing in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They